All right, let's talk to the Eagles head coach, Nick Sirianni. They win, again, because they almost always win. And the Eagles get to 4-0 with this latest win, but obviously controversy is in the air. Coach Nick Sirianni is brought to us by Bud Light this week. The Bud Light Eagles pep rally is Friday night at Creekside Sports Bar in Royersford. Hang with Ava Graham and score tickets to an Eagles game. And Nick joins us right now. Good morning, Nick.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Nick,
hey, Coach.
Congratulations on the win. We could dwell extensively on the good stuff, but listen, everyone wants us to get down to the business, so let's do it. How concerned, Nick, are you about the A.J. Brown situation?
Yeah, not concerned. We all want to get better. We've set a pretty high standard here, and we all want to get better. We all want to enjoy the win when we get it. And we all want to get better from it, right? I think that I'd be more concerned if we were in this locker room and we were like, hey, we're 4-0 and being satisfied. I think you're seeing from the entire team. Now, that doesn't mean we don't enjoy the win in the moment, but you're seeing from the entire team that we all want to get better. We all want to raise our standard. And that's the reality of September, October football is you're working your way up to get better, right? There's not I've seen a lot of teams, peak too early, and our goal is to be playing our best football by the end of the year. That doesn't mean we got to be more consistent as coaches. We got to be more consistent as players, and we have a high level and a high standard for ourselves, and we just want to continue to reach that and work towards that.
So, Nick, I really admire your ability through the last few years to diffuse some situations. I really do. And I think part of it is how you answer questions, in press conferences and interviews. But I will tell you, the not concerned thing, I mean, this is one of the great players in Philly sports. It seemed like he may be alluding to wanting to be out. I think that the heart of it is he's wondering how much longer can I take it, not getting the ball as much as other great receivers in football. Do you think I'm wrong that that's the heart of the matter? And I mean, I think this is a pretty big situation right now.
Yeah, and you're entitled to your opinion, obviously. And, what I see it as a guy that wants to contribute to his football team because he knows he's able to contribute to his football team. And, if we, the things that we know, we know that the past 3 years that AJ's been here, we've won a lot of football games. And one year he had almost 1,500 yards. One year he had 1,400 yards. Last year, missed a couple games and had 1,100 yards. So we know when we're playing our best, he's contributing.
Yeah.
When we're clicking on all cylinders, he's contributing. And that doesn't mean you can't win games and when he's not contributing, but I think that we all know that to reach the standard that we want to reach, all right, it has to be working on it has to be in the run game, in the pass game, on defense, on special teams. It needs to be hitting to hit the standard that we want to hit. Now, until it gets to that standard, until as you build up in the season, our job as coaches, our job as players is to find ways to win, get better from what you went through in the game, work our butts off in the week to get better as well, and repeat until you're playing the type of football that is to your standards. But
Sure.
We're not there yet, and it's early in the year. We're four games through, and our whole focus as an entire team is how do we get better? How do we get better? How do we get better?
Sure. So the numbers say that AJ had more targets than yards for just the third time in his career in this last game.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you help him contribute to the team with more involvement moving forward?
Yeah. Again, and it's no secret. The pass game runs through AJ. It runs through Devontae. It runs through Dallas. Saquon's got a big part of it, and then you got some good contributing factors. Grant Calcaterra's had plays throughout the season. Jahan Dotson has. Mechie's done a nice job, right? And so you got other pieces there as well. And so there's a lot of guys there that can and will get the ball. And so obviously everything that we do, it starts like our week preparation never starts, or our when we're watching tape is like, okay, how do we get AJ the ball? How do we get Dallas the ball? How do we get Devontae the ball? That's I'm not letting any secrets out right there. Like that's how every game plan meeting starts.
Sure.
And so that's on our mind. That's why through the course of the year, I'm always confident that those things play themselves out through the course of the year. We're in a small sample size right now. It hasn't, where he hasn't got, the amount of touches that he normally has, but we're in a very small sample size. And, I know how we game plan. I know how, we think through things. I know how important he is. And again, like it's our job inside this building is to not ride the roller coaster of the outside and be completely focused. If you're focused
Sure.
on other things, if you're focused on too much other stuff, that you're taking a little bit of focus away from what the main goal is, to get better, find ways to win and get better. So, our job is to focus on our process, to focus on, the right things, in attempts to be playing our best football by the end of the year.
Nick, one thing though on the outside, does it disappoint you when AJ takes it to the outside? Social media is not the locker room. Social media is the world can hear my thoughts and know what I'm thinking. Does it disappoint you when he writes what he wrote?
No, I don't get disappointed with those types of things. And again, like it's all about the conversations that you have individually. Like when you don't have communication with somebody, and then you're forced to think, man, what could this have meant, or what could that meant? That's why we're in constant communication. That's why together is one of our core values. And so you understand things that are going on when maybe people who aren't in constant communication may not.
Nick, does it help the offense become, more difficult to defend if Jalen takes more risks downfield? And I know that's part of what makes him great. I know part of why we're 20-1 in the last 21 games is he doesn't turn the ball over. But he's a risk-averse quarterback. But would it help the offense become less predictable if he would take more risks?
Yeah, just because he doesn't throw interceptions, I don't believe that he's risk adverse. Because we talk in two different things. We talk about protecting the football because of the success we've had, and the formula that we've had to win. Like let's call it what it is. Our job is to win football games, period, and find any way we can win football games. And we know our success that we've had when we protect the ball and we take the ball away. But we also, on the other end, know how hard it is to score points when you're not explosive. I think I've been saying this since the beginning of this year. We have to be more explosive. But that you can't risk the ball to be like you don't want to risk the ball in attempts to do that. Like there's ways to do that where you still protect the football and still make good decisions. And Jalen's just one piece of protecting the football. Like how you carry the football as a ball carrier is a big piece of that as well. We've done a nice job so far, only turning it over one time and forcing however many 5 turnovers for us. So we're +4 right there, and we've won every game to date. And that's a big reason for it. Mm-hmm. Now, again, like I said, you still want to create explosives because it's hard to, if you're in the run game, if you're in the pass game, it's hard to dunk your way down the field because, this game, the other team forces mistakes, right? And, there's ups and downs in each game. So both are important. Both are very important. We've found, with our taking care of the football, though, that's always at the top of our mind, and also we want to be explosive.
Nick
Sirianni, I answered your question.
Yep. Nick Sirianni here on WIP. Nick, team's 4-0, by the way. I don't have to remind you, but I'll remind everyone listening. Because the nature of this conversation, people wouldn't necessarily think it. So let's talk about some really good things. Nick, on Sunday, the game basically starts with a block punt, if you will. After your defense gets a stop, it's a block punt. And shortly after that happened, Tom Rinaldi said on Fox that he overheard you on the sideline say, I told you. And it seemed to be in reference to something related to how to block that punt. Had you noticed something during the week that you specifically saw that could give your squad an advantage and it worked out?
Yeah, don't want to get into anything like that, but Coach Clay and the special teams coaches do such a phenomenal job of, prepping our guys for the week and seeing different things of whether it's a return, whether it's a block, whether it's a trick play or whatever. They just do such a good job and have a good feel of when to call things. And I think that just in that moment, he called an opportunity for a block in that moment by Coach Clay, and our guys went out and executed. I actually don't even remember saying I told you so. But I just was so excited celebrating with Coach Clay, watching our guys celebrate together. I thought our guys played extremely, extremely tough. I think our guys played extremely, extremely hard with their effort. And I love the celebration that they had, there, and that's why football is awesome, guys. Right? I mean, it takes everybody. I know majority of the questions that I answered today were about the offense, but man, this is a team game, and it takes offense, defense, special teams, and we got contributions from each phase. And that's why football is, to me, the best team sport there is.
I agree with you.
The best sport there is.
Coach, what were you saying to Baker at Mayfield, and after the fact with the taunting increase in penalties, do you worry that you're undermining your authority, the example that you're setting for your players?
Baker and I actually really respect him. I got to know him a little bit when we practiced against them when he was at Cleveland and I was at Indy, and really enjoyed my conversations with him. It was just some fun back.
He
and
seems
forth.
awesome.
I told him after the game, I said, and besides our guy, you're one of my favorite guys to watch. I really admire his competitiveness. Wow. I really admire his. I just think he's a really, really good quarterback, and just to really admire his game. And I was just having some fun in there. It makes, and I talked to him after the game as well, and told him that after the game, because I got a lot of respect for him, and he's won a lot of football games.
Just having fun.
That's Nick, congrats on. Look, it was a great September. You guys went 4-0. I know there was some, circumstances that were odd in the way you landed at 4-0, but you're 4-0. Congrats on a great September, and good luck for the Denver Broncos.
4-0 is nice, but we just want to continue to get better, and that's all our mindset is. And I know a lot of teams would trade places with us, be 4-0, but you know what? We're never satisfied. We want to keep getting better, and we'll look back at the end of the year and be happy with whatever. But our job is just to get better and find ways to win games.
You got it. Nick, good luck on Sunday. Thank you, Nick.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni. All right.